Life will throw us many googlies, the coronavirus being one of them. But there are so many more that we will have to face. Climate change, and at a more personal level, job losses, difficult relationships, children trouble. So what do? As spiritualists and seekers, as healers, we have a very powerful tool, which is the first step in dealing with any of life's googlies, good or bad. It's called the attitude of gratitude. But what is the attitude of gratitude, you may ask? The attitude of gratitude, very simply, is being grateful for everything that life throws at you. Yes, everything. The other day we were visiting the professor, a 90-year-old gentleman who had just had a month or two ago very invasive cancer surgery. He was sitting there with his colostomy bag and a book. And we asked him, "How are you doing, Professor?" And he reflected for a moment and smiled. He pointed out to the garden and said, "The sun is shining. I have a lovely book. And two very interesting people are visiting me. So I am thankful. I am grateful." Now, this is the reason why the attitude of gratitude is such a powerful, potent thing. Most times in life, we humans tend to remember the bad things and forget the good things. But when we start allowing the attitude of gratitude to become a pillar of our lives, then our joys multiply. But why, you may ask, should I be grateful for the bad things? Well, to many, the lockdown is like really imprisonment at home. But from the lockdown has come for many something very good. A friend of ours we were talking to turned around and said, "I really shouldn't be telling you this, but to us, the lockdown has really been a blessing. Manoj and I are talking like we've never talked before. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. Earlier we used to be like two strangers who live together. Now we're talking. Sure, there are times when we do fight, but it's good because we're talking, we're understanding each other, and we're seeing what motivates each other and what makes each other tick." And so the very frustrating lockdown is also giving a lot of us the chance to heal relationships, strengthen families, and even address issues which are troubling different communities. Today, many felt that the young generation was so fixated on making money, they had forgotten what was truly important. And with the coronavirus, and the fact that many CEOs, presidents are succumbing to the virus, asks us, but what is important? What is the most significant thing in your life? One of our students, one of our family, is a professional singer. And while for many years she's been talking about launching many singles, in the last few Corona months, she's released some 4 singles. That's more than what she did in the last 4 years. Now, one of the most frustrating things for anyone who looks ahead into the future is the fact that as a race, that as a planet, we're just sleepwalking towards climate catastrophe. That even the coronavirus and many of these deadly viruses are actually a side effect and a byproduct of the kind of industrialization that we have been investing in. And it is really destroying forests, which are really the first line of defense that the planet has to control viruses and keep microorganisms in check. So one of the very heartening things about our planet's response to the coronavirus is that we have seen both ourselves and from our neighbors, from our nations and from the world, the ability to take very hard decisions, to make radical decisions, to push towards answers at a very personal level. Just months ago, I lost my mother. By the end of this year, many of us will have lost loved ones. Many of us watching this video will not be around at the end of the year. And that is a very sobering thought. And yes, it will make us think of what is important and what is significant. It will make us make huge changes about life. But we also need to look death in the eyes, death squarely in the face, and realize that we do not die when we die, that in fact we survive death. And many of you have seen your past lives and other incarnations. Many of you have seen spiritual beings like ghosts or angels. But it's one thing to believe in ghosts and angels when things are good, but another when you find somebody you know is struggling to breathe. To then believe and to then hold on to your immortality is extremely difficult. But if you can do so, the rewards are incredible.